The Internet of Things, final presentation, Business 512, by Jim Henry. What is the Internet of Things? The Internet of Things is going to revolutionize the world. In fact, it's already begun. I'm not kidding. The Internet of Things, or IoT, is going to save humanity. How so? Because in 10 years, no one will ever lose their keys again. And I will be the first person to buy whatever tech can make that happen. Seriously though, the IoT is the endowment of everyday objects with communicative technology, allowing those objects to communicate with one another. Though the technology exists today for objects to communicate with humans and vice versa, this presentation focuses primarily on machine-to-machine technology, or M2M. It isn't Terminator yet, but it could be. Communication amongst the machines. Historically, machines have been able to talk to one another for many years, but these machines were purpose-built to do so. Some examples include desktop computers that can be connected to one another to transmit data back and forth, or a series of computers that are connected to a server to upload and download data. But the Internet of Things changes the game. Now, previously dumb objects, keys, watches, shoes, you name it, are becoming smart, and technology allows these objects to communicate with one another, even when we're not aware. Historically speaking, many technologies have evolved to the point, or become cheap enough to the point, that we now are at a confluence of events or technologies whereby the Internet of Things is possible. There's now enough advancement in processor speed, miniaturization, networking technology, and other technologies that, coupled with commoditization of these factors, yields the emergent ability for your shoes to talk to your wristwatch. Even though this seems pointless, your iWatch can actually tell you now that your shoes have logged enough miles on them and need to be replaced. Your shoes can probably tell your iWatch that you've just stepped in something nasty. The reality of this is indeed the ability for everyday objects to communicate with one another, and it will change the way we can control our world. Some examples of how the Internet of Things affects us even today at this early stage. Smart homes. We can reduce energy consumption when our thermostat adjusts itself to the inside and outside temperatures on a minute-by-minute basis. Our thermostat can also tell our automated shades when to open or close, and can direct the lights to turn on or off. The garage door opener can open itself when it learns that our car is within 400 feet by communicating back and forth through wireless technology. It can also tell the lights in the home to turn on in preparation for our arrival, and the security system to turn itself off so that the alarm doesn't go off when we come in the house. Our refrigerator can send a message to our smartphone that it's time to replace the spoiled milk, and a security system can monitor our home and send alerts to us via text or email when any motion is detected or an intrusion occurs. Business opportunities abound as a result of the evolution of IoT. Retail is a particular area on which I focused in this presentation. Retail inventory outfitted with RFID tags can alert nearby shoppers of sales and even the location of the item once in the store. Loyalty customers will have a more robust experience. Perhaps their purchases will be tracked, and tailored messages can be sent out to those customers by the shop or the inventory item itself. So a pair of shoes that you've been eyeing up can alert your smartphone that they're on sale this week. Vending machines can actively adjust pricing based on past purchase history of customers, past purchase history of all customers, specific nearby customers, or even the weather. Messages are sent directly to those customers on their cell phones from the vending machine. Stocked inventory management will become dynamic in real time. That is, the inventory can monitor itself and provide continuous feedback and data on the volume of inventory, customer demand, and location of the nearest item. Big data opportunities will arise based on the sheer volume of transactional and buying history data that will be recorded, and that will be the result of all of the sensor data coming from the Internet of Things. Perhaps more important than smart home conveniences or retail opportunities are the improvements to health and safety that the IoT will generate. IoT will allow anything to be outfitted with a sensor. Sensors will relay information on a continuous basis about our infrastructure. This will enable engineers and designers to identify aging and possibly dangerous structural components on bridges, roads, skyscrapers, etc., and replace these components prior to failure. Automobiles will also become smarter, not just offering GPS, but notifying their owners' smartphones of low batteries, maintenance needs, traffic conditions, and even road conditions. They will likely even self-drive, at least in congested metropolitan areas, though I hate the idea of this myself. Sensors placed in a patient's heart can relay information directly to a pacemaker or to a smartphone held by the patient or a doctor, and will warn of any indications of trouble that could otherwise go unseen until it's too late. Saving lives is an obvious benefit of IoT. The examples provided here barely scratch the surface of the possibilities that the Internet of Things will provide to our society. As an example, Goldman Sachs has identified IoT as the next megatrend and is monitoring investment opportunities related to IoT. IoT will provide the ability for humans to have much greater control than ever before over their environment by providing communication capabilities to literally billions of objects. IoT may ultimately also ask us to give up control as objects become smarter and can make decisions for themselves based on complex programming and higher levels of historical analysis. We will have to decide how much is too much, but the benefits that we can see at this point seem to far outweigh any potential challenges. We just have to be smart enough to plan ahead.